What's up, folks? How's everything going, guys? Okay, I was well. I hope you're fine. I hope my family's fine. I hope everything is okay with you. Okay, on today's video, I want to talk about stress. Okay, well, in our previous video, we did the first lesson. The first lesson was about stress, the causes of stress, and stress management. Okay, I thought it would be helpful to know what stress really is, because if you go for an examination right now, a test right now, okay, if you don't have really thorough knowledge on whatsoever subject you need to really study, you are not going to do well in the test. Okay, so you have to have good knowledge, accurate knowledge on this stress. Okay, so you can knowledge is power. Okay, once you know, you become powerful to some extent. Okay, so you knowing alone is power. Okay, but I believe you hardly know, and if you know about procrastination, then you hardly procrastinate. Okay, so but in today's video, I want to talk about stress. Okay, what stress does to the body. This is lesson 2. If you have not watched lesson 1, link in the description. I might leave a link, but if I did not leave a link, then you could check my channel. Okay, see the videos there, and you identify the lesson 1 pretty easily. Okay, so and what I want to do today, like I said, is what stress does to the body. Okay, you have to know the effect of stress on your body. What is it actually doing to my body? Why should I stop it? Okay, and what can I do? Because if you know it's dangerous, sometimes you tend to avoid it. You try to put your best to get towards it. Okay, unlike when you don't know the danger of it. Okay, so in today's video, like I said, if you have not subscribed to this channel before I get started, hit this subscribe button. Okay, so you can get notified. To subscribe is free. It's free to subscribe. You're not paying a dime. You're only subscribing to allow to give permission, so that they can notify, YouTube can notify whenever I upload a new video. Okay, that is just what subscribing means here on YouTube. So it's free to subscribe, but make sure you turn on notifications so that you can be notified. Otherwise, you won't be notified. Okay, so that is just it. It is free. You're not paying anything. Okay, so you have to know about this subscribing of it. Why YouTubers always say subscribe. Okay, that is what it means. Okay, it does not mean you're not paying a dime. So in today's lesson, we have what stress does to the body. Okay, yeah, I have here that as we rightly defined stress in our previous video. Okay, if you have not watched it, go there, watch it right now. We said in our previous video, we said stress, okay, is any type of changes that causes physical, emotional, or psychological strain. Okay, if you check out our previous video, you see there, the stress is any type of changes that causes physical and physical, emotional, or psychological strain. Okay, as if you recall, in our previous video, we also defined psychological stress as a particular relationship between a person and his environment. Okay, in our previous video, we defined it that way. The relationship between a person and his environment, and we talked about that stress can actually alter a person's perception of the environment. Okay, psychological stress to do with you and your environment. How do you see your environment? Okay, how do you interpret what's going on in your environment? Okay, that's psychological stress. Psychological stress means changing your perception of the environment. There's some things that will happen to you right now that can alter your perception of the environment. You need to see the world as evil. You need to see people the wrong way. You need to do things. You can see things, man. There's no opportunity for me. I'm deficit in this area, I'm deficit in that area, I'm lacking in this area and that area. So stress can affect and alter your perception. So that is why, and I also gave out things you have to do to reduce the stress. So check out our previous video, it's very important. Okay, and Now, stress has lots of dangerous effects on the body. Okay, it's preeminently good for us, okay, to really dig deep into how stress can affect us, the effects of stress, okay, on our body, okay. Uh, we said there are different types of stress. We have the psychological stress, emotional stress, and physical stress. Okay, there's three types: emotional stress, psychological stress, and physical stress. Okay, and we said stress can alter your perception. Okay, when you are under stress, your sympathetic nervous system is that part of your nervous system that tends to shut down certain areas in your body when you are under stress. For instance, now you want to do an activity that is taxing, okay, uh, this nervous system tends to shut down and let's say areas of your body that are not too useful, okay, in the accomplishment of that probably that task, okay, whatsoever. So it tends to make sure you accomplish something, okay, a goal, okay, but it does this by shutting down certain important parts of your body, okay. And we know that no organism on this planet, okay, can tolerate long-term stress. All organisms are just short; they can only tolerate stress for this short period of time, okay. Even humans for this short period of time, no organism can, okay, tolerate stress for a very long period of time. It's not possible, okay. But the thing is we have three types of stress, like I said: psychological stress, emotional stress, and physical stress. Okay, so when you are under psychological stress, okay, when you are under emotional stress, um, the immune system, the sympathetic nervous system shuts down your immune system. Okay, major thing that happen, there are other things that happen when you're under stress. Okay, your immune system shuts down. When when you are in danger right now, your immune system shuts down. Your the gut movement slows down. Digestion is reduced. First of all, different things happen in your body, okay, when you're under stress, okay. Blood vessels constrict when you're under stress, okay. Blood vessels squeeze when you're under stress, okay. So and we know from the new science, epigenetics, okay. Epigenetics means your mind controlling your genes, the genetics of your genes, okay. Genes are just blueprints, like a structure, okay. There are two sets of genes. There are genes that control how your body is built, okay. Like the way, like you have a plan for a house. Before you build a house, you usually have a plan for the house, right? A structure, a laid down structure, probably by pen or whatsoever. Before you actually commence the building, right, process, okay. That is how it is. There are genes that are just have information on your structure, how your structure should be built, okay. But there are other set of genes that control how this structure is going to function. They control how this structure is going to function. So there are other genes that controls how this your body is going to function. That is the genes that are under the control of your mind, okay. So you can control your body's going to function. The genetics of your genes can change different things in your body, do a lot of things to yourself just by your mind, okay. We've heard people, we've seen people testify of being healed by meditation, okay. There's no magic there. The mind controlled, okay, the genetics of whatsoever that was wrong, okay, in the body, okay. So like we said, there are three types. I want to get that, okay. Three types of stress: physical stress, emotional stress, and psychological stress. Now this is what we have to say. This is what you should get right now. If the mind, okay, controls the genetics of your genes, how your genes function, how they should produce, what kind of proteins and stuff all they should begin synthesizing, okay. That's different kind of things, okay. If your mind actually has effect on those things, okay, and we, for the most part, we think negative thoughts, okay. Listen, negative thoughts can turn on stress hormones, okay. Stress hormones, whenever someone is under high level of stress, when it tests the blood sample, they tend to see high level of this stress called cortisol. So it is really responsible for the stress we're talking about, cortisol. Okay. Now, whenever someone is thinking right now, every genetics has made us to understand that your body relies on the interpretation of your mind. Your mind is there to interpret this environment, interpret whatever is going on in the environment, okay. So if you let's do this experiment right now. Think of yourself, think of what you fear a lot, okay. Do you fear dogs? If you fear dogs, just think of yourself in just think of yourself in a cluster of dogs, surrounded by a cluster of dogs. Just see yourself around them right now. What do you do? Just watch how your body responds. Your body thinks it is in that moment. Your body thinks it is present. Okay, that dogs are actually surrounding it. You see, you become agitated. Okay, that's to tell you that your body responds to your mind. Whatever your mind says is what it takes. It doesn't care whether it's empowering or disempowering. It doesn't filter the information. Whatever you give to it, it takes it. So you have to be really careful. Now that you know that your mind responds to whatever is going on right now. Most of us were thinking negative thoughts here and there, negative thought, negative this, negative that. Your boss did this to you, this and that, stressing ourselves over and over again. If your body and you begin to think these negative thoughts, okay, your body, listen, the sympathetic nervous system comes into play, shuts down your immune system shuts down, blood vessels begin to constrict. Okay, and no organism can tolerate stress for a long period of time. Why? Because you are shutting down the immune system for a very long time, so you could die. So now most of us right now, we're thinking negative thoughts over and over again. This is called over and over again, getting ourselves into environments that tends to trigger the stress hormone to shut down the immune system over and over again. Meaning if you're thinking negative thoughts over and over again for 5 months, meaning you're shutting your immune system for literally 5 months. So how are you not going to be susceptible to diseases, different diseases that will come up? Why are you not going to be susceptible to this disease? And stress can really affect you. Just thinking of negative thought, negative energy can really affect you way more than even this thing I'm talking about. It can affect your productivity. You find yourself, you are not being able to be really productive as you want to be. You find yourself, you can't compete in a classroom. Okay, you can find yourself not be able to do as you want to do. Why? Because of these things you're stressing yourself with. You're not sending the right messages to your body. So you have to really understand this, okay? Whenever you're thinking negative thoughts, first of all, also triggers of stress, okay? Also causes of stress, okay? You should check out our previous video, okay? The causes of stress, said negative, limited self-belief, low self-esteem. Okay, when you have low self-esteem, you begin to think negatively of yourself. When you think negative thoughts, it drives hormones, stress hormones. First of all, they shut down the immune system. The same thing goes on again. Your body can't fight the different diseases. The body can't create. Okay. During stress, okay, when you are under stress, it's not a time to create, okay? When you are in the midst of those dogs, what do? You run. It's not a time for your body to create things, to synthesize proteins, okay? It's not a time, okay? So that is how it is. If you virtually create these dogs in your mind coming to chase you, it's not a time for your body to create at that point. It's not a time for your body to create. It's a time for your body to run. Okay, so meaning if you're shutting yourself down, putting these virtual stress triggers in your mind every time, you are shutting down creation process, okay, and you are beginning to use up energy in your body and not actually using them for creation, for fighting of disease, for health, for proper growth of your body, okay, and different things, okay. So that is what you have to know, okay? That whatever you're thinking, your body's responding to it. Now, our previous video will define that as okay? So What do we have here? Okay, one another stress is not a time to create. Okay, so you have to avoid whatsoever you feel that triggers stress. Is it thought? Is it feeling? Whatsoever it is that you know triggers it. Is it an environment? You have to, man. You have to do some self-examination. Avoid those things if you can avoid them. If you can't avoid them, then go into meditation, man. Become conscious of yourself. Go into meditation and interpret those things to your body in new ways. See those things in new ways. Go into deep meditation. I mean, you could go into deep meditation for 3 hours, man. Do that. Do it for 3 hours, 2 hours. Okay. Go in. If you can't avoid that place, but if you can avoid it, avoid it. But if you can't, you have to go into deep meditation. Okay. See, put the things back into your mind that causes the stress in you. Then you have to see it in different ways. Suggest new ways, okay, of seeing it. Why? Because the subconscious is active, okay, at that point of meditation. Meditation, people that meditate are very powerful. Okay, so you have to suggest new ways of seeing that thing, okay, to your body, okay, and different things. Stress management techniques in our previous video. So go there, watch it, and get full shot of it, okay. So that is literally everything. Get this. This is what I want to get across to you. Stress is dangerous to your health. Okay, I know stress in the appropriate amount. Okay, it's not dangerous to your body. Why? Because when you are in danger, physical stress. When you are in danger in the midst of a lion, physical stress. Okay, your body prepares you to run away from that scene. Okay, fight or flight or moan. First of all, allows you to run away from that scene, right? That saved your life, right? Stress sometimes saves our life, okay. But what happens when this thing is on over and over again, and your body can't tolerate long periods of stress, and at least in physical stress it's easy to shut down, it's easy to stop. But when the stimulus is over, your body tends to just stop producing stress hormones, okay. But what about the psychological stress? What about the emotional stress? It's like the stress that comes from your thinking, the stress that comes from your feelings, okay. That's the emotional stress, okay. The stress that comes from your thinking is psychological stress, okay. What about those things that you can't stop? You just keep going. That means you're shutting your immune system 24/7, 9/11. How are you going to live a full life? You go to an exam hall. How are you going to write and pass the test when your body thinks it's under stress? Okay, your immune system shuts down. How are you going to the brain areas? Shuts down. How are you going to really write the test and come out well? That's why most students, they don't do well. Okay, check your mind, check your mindset, check your thinking. Okay, if you're in school, you're not doing well in the exams, check your mindset. What did you hear about school? Okay, what did you hear about being best in class? Okay, review those information. It's called money in the secret of the millionaire mind. It's called money blueprint. Okay, but I'll call it study blueprint or whatever you want to call it. Okay, review those things you have in your head about school, about passing an exam, about getting excellent grades. Think about those things. What did you hear? I'm going to suggest new ways. If they are bad, I'm going to suggest new ways of seeing being successful at school. Suggest new ways to yourself. Because if you go to your exam and begin to sabotage yourself, you're writing an exam, you're sabotaging yourself.